Kuhn is the fullback with the first and goal. Kuhn gets the call. Pile driving his way in for the touchdown. What a great second effort.
Y'all don't really want it like that. Here comes the here comes the here comes the y'all don't really want it now. I said so. I keep big bills up in my heart on the dirty like blood. So ain't got no twist in my head, but I'm still dreadful.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Fantasy Fullback Dive, brought to you by the good people at the Roto Street Journal, acting as your lead blocker to fantasy glory, fantasy excellence, everything in between, fantasy trophies. We hope this is a big week for those of you that are still alive. I cannot include myself in that group, but I'm still doing the Lord's work, the Wolf's work, whatever. I'm here. I'm showing up. I'm like Cal Ripken. I got consecutive game streak going. I'm not going to break it just because I suck. We're going to help you guys hoist some fantasy hardware because that's what we're all about. I'm, of course, your host, Nat the Truth Jones. With me, as always, the Wolf of Roto Street himself, still alive and kicking, I'm happy to say.
Oh, yeah, very alive and kicking. I like the idea of you calling me Lord Wolf from now on, too. That was a good, had a good ring to it when we started the show, Lord Wolf. Appreciate that. Sure. But no, Nat, I remember it was the opposite last year where I got knocked out early in all my leagues. And I know your pain trying to go through these shows with the enthusiasm and keeping it up when you just have deep down fantasy rot in your core right now after you are knocked out. It's tough. It takes a lot of perseverance. But as it happened last year, once we get talking to the people, get the beers flowing a little bit, we'll feel better. Hopefully this will be a cathartic experience for you. At least it was for me last year once I was knocked out early. But, man, it's exciting to also still be in there. Don't mean to rub that in your face.
No.
Sorry to hear that you've been knocked out, Truth. But, man, we got the people, and they are here. They're already asking the questions, and I am pumped to get after it.
Yeah, me too. Like I said, mine was a combination of – there's so many things. It's a 17 or a 14-game season, and – 10 different times if I had done one thing differently, I'd have gotten the bye in the playoffs and I'd still be in right now. And that's the nature of the beast, I guess. And this year it did not go my way. It was a very frustrating year. But, you try to tell yourself, hey, at least now I can watch football for football. Nah, don't believe the fucking hype. I'm going to watch football for football. But every time I see one of my players play, it's like instinctively every time through the Super Bowl I see Cooper Kupp score, I'm going to feel like that was something good for me. And then I'll be like, oh, right, that doesn't mean anything anymore. So it's kind of like empty. It's kind of like, they say if you get your arm cut off, you get this phantom. You feel like you got an arm there, but you don't. That's what it's like when you get knocked out of the fantasy playoffs.
Sure is. You're just like a corpse kind of moving through the motions here. I get it. I think it's the ultimate coward's excuse. Now I get to just sit and not have any. Shut up. Everyone would wish to have it on the line, even if it means more pain because you get hurt further delaying pain. You always want that little added investment. I hate when people, I get to watch with just enjoy football. No, so you're not enjoying football. You're enjoying fantasy.
Right. You're not enjoying football. You're not. So there have been times throughout the regular season where it's like my game was over or decided by Monday. And I was like, all right, I can just watch the Monday game and it's cool. And I have enjoyed that from time to time. That's different. Once you're out,
still alive, right?
Yeah. But I mean, you're right. You're not dead inside. Once you're out, you're just miserable. I'm going to watch the game tonight. I'm going to watch the games. I'm going to enjoy what I think figures to be a pretty good AFC and NFC playoff run. It should be pretty exciting, but I'd be lying if I said I wasn't devastated. But I'm going to do what I can to deliver valuable fantasy news to the community, to the regulars that are still here watching us. We really appreciate your time. Real quick, give us a like before we get into the Thursday night football news, of which there is a little. This has been a crazy season, man.
It's probably last year was chaotic, Nat. This year might be even more so. Even if it wasn't the whole season
it has been
chaos, they have condensed just insanity into your fantasy playoffs between who we had out last week. We're gonna cover some names that are just and I'm without two of my biggest studs in Dalvin Cook and Travis Kelce scrambling right now. It's just a fucking shitstorm. This is by far the craziest season, just because it's been condensed into the most important time. There's been craziness throughout the year, but
it's really intensified.
It is insane.
CMC injury and stuff, it's like that was crazy, but that happens in football. But having just a roulette wheel of, 40 to 50% of the star players in the league just randomly being out, when you need them the most, that's crazy. It really is nuts. If we have another season this crazy, I'd just be absolutely shocked. Let's get into Thursday Night Football news, and you're going to see a bunch of this craziness borne out in some of our injuries, anyway, you're going to get to see what we're talking about. A.J. Brown, he's been on IR for a while, chest issue. Ian Rappaport reports that he is likely to play against the 49ers. This, a lot of people are saying, makes him a solid wide receiver too, but his ceiling is unparalleled.
Yeah, absolutely. I have him as a low-end one. It'd be really, really hard. I tweeted out actually right before the show. You'd have to have ungodly wide receivers to have this guy on your bench. Maybe in 2 wide receiver leagues without flexes, if those type of who
plays in a 2 wide receiver league without flex?
the elusive one, then maybe you could justify it because there is risk. The guy has been boom or bust all year. There's certainly 4-catch, 40-yard, kicking the balls type of risk here tonight. But we've just seen stud performances on these last few Thursday nights, and nobody would be shocked to see 150 and 2 scores from A.J. Brown. They sorely have lacked any type of offensive firepower, especially in the passing game these last few weeks. They sorely missed him. It's going to be very clear, I think, right from the start what type of game you're getting. But I think it's, especially when they come off the IR, a lot of people, oh, no, they're going to limit his workload. What's the snaps going to be? I think it's also could work in the opposite. We saw with Dalvin Cook where they try to just get you in a groove early. And if you're grooving, let's feed this monster. So that's what I think is going to happen. We've got the 11th most points allowed to wide receivers. So an easy matchup. He is at my wide receiver 18 for the week. So it'd be very difficult, in my opinion, to bench this guy. I think you're getting yourself a stud performance tonight. And even if not, you'd be so much more pissed if you benched him and he had 150 and 2. I mean, it does also kill you if he has 4 catches for 40, but it is too much upside to pass up, in my opinion.
It depends. It depends who you're benching, if it would kill you or not. I agree. I'm playing the guy. My concern is not him or his snap count or how much he's got in the tank right now. My concern is that Ryan Tannehill threw for 90 yards the last time he played. So 150 and 2 would surprise me a little bit. Now, you could make the argument the reason he threw for 90 yards is because he's got no one to throw to. So we'll see.
Right. And another big concern to add on to that is that their line is completely decimated right now. Saffold on the interior, both tackles, whether it's COVID or injuries, they have very few, if any, of their starting linemen out there tonight. So that is a major concern for Foreman, for the aforementioned Tannehill. I certainly would not want Tannehill in my lineups, even with A.J. Brown back. The alcohol's already coming back up. Lovely when that happens. But I would not ever trust Tannehill with my championship potential on the line. Even still, yes, that's a concern for A.J. Brown if he has no time to throw, but it also could be, let's get this ball out quickly and let A.J. Brown do his thing, which is when he truly is at his best, knifing through defenses with the ball in his hand. I could see that also being part of the game plan. So big concern there, but ultimately not enough for me to be benching A.J. Brown at all. A question I've gotten a lot is A.J. Brown versus Antonio Brown, the return of 2 Browns. Which one would you rather? So just to kind of use a measuring stick for you.
I know what I think. You can tell me what you think.
I'd go Antonio myself.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Wide receiver 4 in fantasy points per game, potentially and likely no Evans, certainly no Godwin. I would be going Antonio Brown with the quarterback play, the potential number 1 target volume from Tom Brady, always a more viable bet. So I would be going Antonio Brown myself. The one risk with that is what if he doesn't play come Sunday, but it's looking like he's ready to go. He's been practicing limited all week. So if that gives you a measuring stick, that's the type of guy I would bench A.J. Brown for. But again, there's only 15 or so of those guys on my rankings at this point.
I absolutely would smash the Antonio Brown play if he's playing. All right, let's talk about some 49ers news. What do you think about the running back situation tonight?
Yeah, Jeff Wilson, a lot of questions coming in on him. And I sat him last week for you guys, and I told you if I sit him, he's going to blow up. What happened? He blew up. So you're welcome. I did my service to the fantasy community. I benched him, still made it through even without the Jeff Wilson effort. If I had played him, I guarantee you we would have had 40 scoreless slides. So again, you're welcome. And I'm going to bench him again tonight for all of you folks out there, but I don't know that he's going to be as kind. I'm not as confident given this matchup. Second fewest points allowed to wide receivers. Our running backs, rather. The Titans are very generous. Second most points allowed to wide receivers, but second fewest to running backs. The definition of a pass funnel defense here. 21 carries, 110 and a TD. Yes, I get that was beautiful. 50 snaps. And even more encouraging for Jeff Wilson, this is the reason you could start the guy, was 15 routes run and a few targets with only 1 route run for JaMychal Hasty, only 3 total snaps for JaMychal Hasty. So that is the argument for him, is he's now playing a potential 3-down role. He's one of only 4 running backs under Kyle Shanahan to see 20-plus carries in his last 4 years. Being Eli Mitchell's been a horse also this year. It's kind of a new philosophy from Kyle Shanahan. So I get all that. There's a lot working in his favor, but I think the matchup's going to be really difficult. I do love this 49ers line. They might be quote-unquote matchup proof. We'll find out tonight. Yeah. Wilson did look better. I'm nervous that you're going to get a 50 to 60-yard game, though, a dud with no scores. If I have good enough options, I'd bench him. I'd bench him for a guy like Justin Jackson, for example, should Austin Ekeler be out.
Real quick, and we just got a $5 super chat from Omar. I want to ask you a question, honestly, and you can tell me if this is a dumb question or not. How many teams in the NFC are definitely better than the 49ers?
There's not a lot. Like, I really like the 49ers and how they're built for playoff football, you know? Yeah. I would say the Packers are better.
Probably, yeah.
On their best day, the Rams, but no, that's not like a confident. They're
I feel like the 49ers kind of own the Rams, don't they?
They often do. Yeah, Shanahan does own him. I mean, you can't say the Cardinals with any confidence.
Right. It's not an obvious list, right? Like
I think the Packers are, but like
the Bucks maybe if they're healthy, but who knows, right?
Pound them into submission. 49ers have as good of a chance as anybody in the NFC to go all the way.
Okay, that's what I'm checking because you know they're like a 500 team, and I look at them and I'm just like, man, I'm not sure I'd take almost anyone as a slam dunk over the Niners.
For the shit that Jimmy G gets, the guy wins. Like
Jimmy G's a pretty good quarterback, dude.
He never flashes. He doesn't look like a guy that could just truly elevate a franchise ever. But at the end of the day, he gets wins. Especially in the clutch time, he knows what it takes to win in playoff games. Maybe not the Super Bowl. He certainly didn't get it done there. But still, I think they're as dangerous. They have the experience, the coach. Like they could seriously go for a run with that run game, but especially also the way the defense is flying around these days. Yeah, I think that's a very dangerous team out there.
All right, let's hit.
That's all we got for Thursday night.
Let's hit Omar's super chat. Let's hit Omar's super chat.
Just of a note for Thursday night too. Julio is playing, but you can't be playing Julio tonight. So we got our man Omar. Thank you so much. This is a way, guys, to jump the line with that super chat. We'll interrupt our broadcast for you, even though we have a few things we got to cover because we appreciate your support so much. It goes such a long way. So thank you so much, Omar. Anybody else out there that if you want to do this, it's certainly not, you don't need to. It's not required, but it is very appreciated, and it goes a long way. So thank you so much, Omar. And, of course, you get to jump the line now.
Right. Omar says, yo, Wolf and Truth, we made it. Sit one between Wilson Jr., Foreman, A.J. Dillon, full PPR. Who you sitting, Wolf?
Man, I'm glad you made it, Omar, because he was shooting me some DMs talking about Cooper Kupp treating his ball sack as like a speed bag, I think was the exact line he used, because he sure was. But I'm glad you somehow survived that onslaught from Cooper Kupp giving you spaghetti nut over there. Ultimately, of this option, I got to sit one. I think it's Wilson for me for all the reasons we just talked about. He has the most guaranteed workload of these three, so that's kind of the scary part of benching him. I'm just really nervous for this matchup, especially if we get down big early for the 49ers. Should A.J. Brown be a big boost to this offense, as I think it will be. I really like Foreman. 2 of his 3 are 100-yard games. He's getting 20-plus carries a week. I do think Wilson might get 20 carries, but I think this Titans defense, unless there's a lot of people out that I don't realize right now, and I don't think that's the case, I'm very nervous about this Titans defense. They just held Najee Harris to 4 points. And I see 20 touches, like 5 catches. They still held him to in happy yard leagues 4.5 points. So very, very concerning how good this defense has been. You could bench A.J. Dillon. I have those 2 neck and neck. So you want a little bit of that Thursday night juice. I get it. I personally would be playing Foreman and Dillon. What are your thoughts?
I think that it's hard to argue with anything that you just said. I would lean towards Dillon, but your argument for Wilson is a compelling one.
I'm looking at my rankings here, Truth. I do have Dillon a couple spots below Wilson. I know I feel lower on Wilson. That's why I wanted to say him. But then you look at what Dillon. Yes, he found the end zone last week, and that gave him an okay day. But he only saw 7 carries and 1 catch. Put up 10 points. Was the running back 18 because of the end zone. But we do know how regularly Aaron Jones just ends up taking over games. And when the games matter as much as they do right now, they tend to just lean on Jones, who saw about 16 touches ahead of him. So that is a concerning workload. You know what? The more I think about it, and I know you said Dillon, I think I'm leaning there to Dillon too. Could he find the end zone? Yes. If he doesn't, I'm really nervous. He gets you If he didn't find the end zone last time, he would have got you like 3 points. That would have been a weak crusher. So the lowest floor is by far Dylan. I don't think his ceiling is high enough to then bench Wilson for it. Like Wilson at his worst is probably going to get you 6 to 7. Maybe could get you back to 20 like you did last week. So I go Wilson and I go Foreman. I know we spent a lot of time, but that's why they super chat.
I think I agree with that. Also, Ward just jumped in. Hey, Wolf and Truth, thanks for the content. Sent 2 questions. Don't need to get to me right away. All right, Ward, thank you.
Legend, Ward. Thank you so much.
We'll get to your stuff, but we just won't get to it for like probably 45 minutes.
All right. We love that you're just hanging out with us, supporting the site. You're the man. We got another one from Eduardo. Thank you so much.
Is Foreman a start over Rojo or Michelle?
Certainly not over Rojo. I'd lock in Rojo this week. Top 13 running back for me. Carolina's given up 30-plus carries in multiple weeks, 4 straight now. So I'm not benching Rojo. Great spot for the guy. Carolina's not nearly the defense they were to start the year. It gets trickier with Sony. Sony did, though, dominate the workload this last week. Had 18 carries to, I think, 1 or 2 for Henderson. Played, 75 to 80% of the snaps. Ran more routes. That was kind of the concern was, is Freeman going to come in and take all the routes? No, we had Sony running triple the routes that he ended up running, Darrell Henderson. So if they have committed to Sony, as it looks like they have, way better offense, good matchup against Minnesota, I lean Sony very slightly over him. I definitely go Rojo over Foreman, and I lean Sony very slightly. I like Foreman too. It's just more so I like Sony a whole lot more. What are your thoughts, Drew? Do you disagree with any of that?
No, I agree with that completely, actually.
Awesome.
I think that summed up pretty well. CJ is going to be mad that we're just getting into the Sunday news right now. So CJ's gonna be real pissed. But guys, thank you so much. We appreciate all the questions. The super chats do get preference, so we had to do that. And we got a lot of questions already. So
love it. Got a lot of questions. We will get there. We got over 50 of you. If you haven't already hit that thumbs up button, it does shoot us out to more people. It helps us continue to grow. And of course, with 50 people here, we're about 40 away from getting to our 2K goal. So if any of you have not subscribed yet, it'd be so greatly appreciated, Wolfpack, if you consider hitting that sub button. If you like what you hear, you want to join us for more live shows, please consider doing so. And the last quick thing I want to promote there while I have all your guys' attention here is PrizePicks, an awesome app. Please consider downloading it and using code RSJ for your own entertainment. If you download it, you're going to be getting one of the best apps. We'll go into a little bit more depth right before we hit all your questions about how it works. But over-unders, their lines are very generous. You can get 5 parlays right to 10 times your money. Even if you get one wrong, you still 3x your money. Me and CJ, we've been raking it in. CJ hasn't missed yet. He's won money every single time. He's better at this prop betting thing than me. Picks are up on RoastJournal.com. But if you use code RSJ, it shows that the pack is we've got a good, solid, loyal pack, and I know we do. And that's what we're trying to continue to build these relationships in the industry to prove we can make a real imprint. And so you guys can really help doing that by downloading PrizePicks, using code RSJ. They'll match up to $100 deposit, fully matched. Awesome stuff. And if you deposit 20 or more, we get a nice little kickback too. So greatly appreciate it if you consider doing that for us. Thanks again. Last promo I'll do for that until about 30 minutes from now. But let's continue on with our Week 16 news. We'll be as fast as we can.
Right, we're going to hit this back and forth real quick before we get into it. Just real fast. We don't even need to elaborate. COVID names prior to today that are on the chopping block. Austin Ekeler, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, just to name 3. Also, to a lesser extent, Jared Goff. Who the fuck cares? And Kendrick Bourne.
I only care about Goff because of Amon-Ra St. Brown, who's been lighting up the league, and certain ancillary pieces like maybe Swift being back, like Craig Reynolds, your guy that you should have played last week. Yeah. Ultimately, those are the guys. But yeah, if you missed, we covered those guys all throughout the week. So huge names, nobody to gloss over, but we've been covering them throughout the week. So we don't want to take up your time. We want to make sure we have good, fresh content, starting with Lamar Jackson, the latest on him. He did not participate in practice today. Seems like he could be trending towards out. We had 4 touchdowns from Tyler Huntley, 2 on the ground, 2 on the air. The QB 1 last week. Insanity. The guy's a baller, though. I think the more and more he's getting comfortable under center, like he has them in every single game. I hope that this guy gets a real chance down the line with a franchise because I love what I'm seeing from him. And certainly as a fantasy producer, you could go to him if you're missing Lamar and some other guys out there in the waiver wire too. We can talk about in our Hail Mary section, but Huntley would be the one I would be stashing everywhere as my main guy.
Tyler Huntley and Gardner Minshew, in my opinion, 2 best backup quarterbacks in the league.
Absolutely.
Justin Fields dealing with an ankle issue, did not practice on Thursday, so that's a blessing for the Bears. It's actually a downgrade. I know some people think he's like good and it's all Nagy. It's like I see the eye test. He's not good. But anyway, he didn't practice on Thursday, So we'll see if he would. I don't know if he plays. He's what, a low end QB2, high end QB2. I don't know.
Only because of the Konami upside, Nat. There is. I mean, the guy's been a top 15 quarterback in three straight full starts, averaging over 70 yards a game in those contests. I don't care. That's not pretty. It doesn't matter. It's like Taysom Hill, a terrible real life quarterback, but awful in terms of, terrible in real life. Top 10 quarterback more often than not. Last week he did blow, and he's going to be off the list, the entire starting list this week because he's on the COVID list, and they'll now be turning to 4th round rookie Ian Brook. Ian Book.
Get
Even
right,
better.
dude.
Ian Book. Wow. Ian Book, who strikes fear in a defense quite like Ian Book. Nobody. You got the Miami defense trembling over there. They have just become one of the best streamers of the week. They already have been a great streamer, but I know some people worried about them going to the Superdome and they're facing Taysom Hill, who puts up some points. No, you're now hammering Miami defense as a top 5 option, no doubt about it. And you got to downgrade everybody on New Orleans, including Alvin Kamara. Maybe they feed him like 40 times and he goes nuts, but I would be very nervous that they just suck completely, score no points, and you get a dud from your stud when you need it the most.
2 things. First of all, Hillary has given us a very generous super chat that we're going to hit in a second. Second of all, you saying that Fields has been a top 15 quarterback 3 out of the last 4 weeks, that's not doing anything for me. If you're telling me Taysom Hill is like, oh, yeah, he was like actually the QB5 last week or something like that, it's like, okay, if you're the QB 15, I don't give a shit. Like, it depends, I guess, what my other options are, but that's not impressive. I mean, that's just like his legs are keeping him from being like the worst quarterback in the league or something like that.
He's been okay, though. 20-plus points in those 3 games, Nat. Like, that's not bad. That's very usable, in my opinion. You're giving him a worse. I think he's been better, like real life wise, but certainly fantasy wise.
Real life wise, you think he's been better? Like, I saw like the QBR of all the starters in the league, and it's like him and Davis Mills are like the last 2 people.
I think Davis Mills actually not that bad either.
He's last in the NFL. What are you talking about?
QBR is a bullshit stat. I don't buy it.
It might not have even been QBR. It might have been something better. But anyway, Hillary has given us a very generous super chat. Let's talk to her question real quick.
Hillary, come on now. You didn't need to do that. Thank you so much from the living room over there. Much appreciated. Let's see what we got.
Wolf, truth. As InSync says, Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. Will A.J. Brown be good to me tonight?
The only people who have ever said that, yes. Coined by NSYNC. Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays.
Yeah, definitely.
No one else has ever said that one.
I'm pretty sure it was like right around 2003 or something when I first heard that phrase coined. You two make Thursdays fun. Enjoy the weekend. Thanks for the help this year. Anytime, of course. Is A.J. Brown going to be good to her this year or tonight?
I think he is. Absolutely. Again, I have him in top 18, wide receiver 18. So a high-end wide receiver 2, low-end wide receiver 1. There's very few people that can bring you 30-plus point upside in a given week, and A.J. Brown is absolutely one of them. He was a top 5 receiver preseason for a reason. He has not even come close to living up to that. I get it. And Tannehill is a concern. The line is a concern. All those things are very concerning, no doubt about it. But San Fran's a bottom 11 matchup for the guy. They're 11th most points. So very generous in that sense. Not someone to shy away from. And they've been so clearly lackluster without him that, yes, absolutely, he is going to be a viable play tonight. Could he bust? Of course, but it is so risky to put a guy like this with 30-plus point upside. When you're in your semis, you need the booms. You need the guys that can go nuts. I have a feeling he can do that just right for you tonight. So absolutely, you're playing him tonight.
Agree. Ronald Williams has given us a super sticker. His question right above it is, A.J. Brown a must start? I only have Gabriel Davis, Chase Claypool, and Jerry Jeudy. Yeah.
You're starting him well ahead of any of those guys.
Yeah.
Gabriel Davis, the only one that's even mediocrely close, and I have him 10 spots below.
Yeah,
AJ Brown. Like Jerry Jeudy, he had 0 last week. Why would
No. It's not close. Yes,
it's not even close.
Thanks for the support, though. Definitely.
But thank you so much for the support. Yeah, I'd go in more depth for you, but over those 3, AJ Brown is head and shoulders above all of them, Ronald. And thank you though so much for
We're back to quarterbacks. Last one.
TJ's really mad at you, by the way, thinking Fields is not good.
Imagine using my eyes and his team's success and all tangible ratings to think that this guy's no good. Been watching him all year. Andy Dalton would give them a better chance to win football games right now if he was healthy. Speaking on Thursday, Kevin Stefanski confirmed, quote unquote, the plan is for Baker Mayfield to return for Saturday's game against the Packers. Don't know if that's a blessing or a curse either. Baker Mayfield has not exactly been lighting it up, but looks like he's going to be back for the game against the Packers. Honestly, I assume the Packers will smash them, whether they're rolling with him or what's his face, Case Keenum.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. So another player we're going to cover, though, that's coming off the COVID list with him is Jarvis Landry, who has been the apple to Baker Mayfield's eye lately. With them playing from behind, we could see a big Landry game, who he's gone over 15 fantasy points in PPR leagues, I think in 3 straight now. So ultimately, Landry becomes a lot more viable with a guy like Baker out there. Moving on to running back, one that breaks my heart to read right here. Dalvin Cook is on the COVID list. Just another one of my studs to get claimed to COVID. Awful. Just sucks. He's going to miss the game. He is unvaccinated. Fucking asshole. Thanks, Dalvin Cook. So he won't be there for week 16. Clint Kubiak saying, I know he's going to be bummed out. Yeah, selfish prick didn't fucking do his job. And we don't want to get political with this because we could get crazy here. But still, fuck you, Dalvin Cook.
Should we do a
I'd love you to
politics
come
show
back
in
and
the
win me a
offseason?
title next week and you're back. I love you, Dalvin Cook. Get better soon. Quick change of tune, but I'm really pissed about this one. This sucks because I don't have Madison, but Madison does become a top 6 running back for me because every time he's in, he's seen 29+ touches in all 3 games. He's smashing them all. This is the hardest matchup Madison's going to have, so I don't know if it's a quite just slide him right into the elite. But, man, I mean, he's done it every single time. This is a great offense, a great blocking line, a good zone scheme. Madison should have a great field day with that against that Rams team.
Cliff Kingsbury said James Conner and Rondell Moore are both going to be game-time decisions. Conner is dealing with a heel injury. He remains sidelined for Thursday's practice. By the way, the 2 running backs that I went against this week that knocked me out of the playoffs, James Conner and Austin Ekeler. Neither one of them probably will be playing this week. So, good timing for me.
Perfect. Indeed. Should he be out, though, Connor, Chase Edmonds would go right into my top 15 running backs. I know Indy is a tough run D, but Edmonds is a great pass catcher. He'd become an every down player. The guy looked pretty juicy last week on his 6 carries, ripping up about 50 yards. I think he could have himself a nice day against the Colts if he's the lone guy. We'll know that one on Saturday, so keep tracking that. It's Christmas Day. There's a good chance none of us are going to be live. But, hey, if I wake up early and I'm feeling it and presents aren't starting or whatever, maybe we'll be live for a bonus show on Christmas Day. Who knows? We'll find out.
My children will never let me get away with that.
No, I know I won't. I won't be seeing you, Truth. I understand that one completely.
I'll tune in and give you a like, but yeah.
Yes, would be appreciated. Joe Mixon did practice in full on Thursday, 2nd straight day. I know there's some concern with that ankle injury. He might miss this game, but he should be out there. Yes, Baltimore, a little bit of a scary matchup, but he had a solid game against them last time. Let me just pull up the stats real quick. I believe it was 2 touchdowns, if I'm not mistaken. Baltimore. Oh, no, that was one of his lesser games. He went on a 2-touchdown streak for 5 straight after that. He did have 12 points, was the running back 19, so a solid day. That's kind of the floor of him. He had a touchdown, 59 yards. They kind of balled him up pretty good. But overall, Mixon's going to be another one of those guys, similar to A.J. Brown. Tough to bench given the ceiling he has every week, given the high role he has in a good offense every week. Tough to bench. He's my running back 12.
All right, we're going to talk. I'm going to talk right now. Buccaneers placed Leonard Fournette on IR. Tough break. We can move on from that. We've talked about how important Rojo is going to be now. I just want to ask a Buccaneers-related question. First of all, the Bucs scoring 0 points. What do you think odds you could have gotten on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers putting up a goose egg in their game against the Saints? And second of all, have you ever seen a worse series of losses within one football game? Godwin, Evans, Fournette, out. Like that's tremendous. And yeah. I mean, Brady didn't really do himself proud after that, but I mean, talk about just hamstringing somebody completely. That is a ridiculous streak of bad luck to have in one game.
That was horrendous. Yeah, the Saints clearly have their number. First time Brady's been shut out in 15 years. Absolute insanity there. The odds of no touchdowns being scored in this game, I think were plus 5,000. If I'm not mistaken, I heard that on a podcast earlier this week. You got to check my math. I'm not positive on that, but it was certainly very, very low. And shutout for the Bucs would probably be similar to that because you'd assume they'd at least get a field goal. Again, first time in 15 years for Brady. But yeah, injury luck, I've never seen that. 3 straight studs in that sense go back to back to back out.
Nuts.
Brutal. Absolutely brutal. But the Saints really do have their number. Brady hasn't beat them in the regular season since becoming a Buck. That's kind of crazy.
Let's also not forget what the Saints did to the Packers in week 1. I think it was 38-3, something like that. So Ian Book driving a nasty spaceship right now. We missed this one. We got a $2 super chat. Jason Harney, Edmonds or Henderson for RB2, Brown or Parker for flex?
I'm definitely going Edmonds over Henderson, especially if James Conner's ruled out, but pretty much even anyways. They're both in committees, but I think, Edmonds has the clearer role, and he's playing with the more banged up guy ahead of him. So give me Edmonds there. And then it's A.J. Brown. Is that right?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm going A.J. Brown over. Who's the other option?
Parker.
Yeah, definitely A.J. Brown. Waddle will be back. If Waddle was out, this would be a little bit closer. Parker's played really good ball. Tua's looking really solid, but Parker's ceiling is 15. A.J. Brown's is 30, and their floors are very similar. So I go A.J. Brown, definitely.
Thanks for the support,
I got to grab my charger while we were hitting the next news nugget. I'll be right back.
You got it. Thanks for the support, Jason. We appreciate it. Antonio Gibson, toe issue. Hey, there's another guy I went against last week that probably won't be playing this week. He remains sidelined for Thursday's practice, injured his toe in Tuesday night's loss to Philadelphia. He has not practiced since. Of course, J.D. McKissick is on IR. Washington is going to be turning to Jared Patterson and Jonathan Williams. That's right. Jared Patterson and Jonathan Williams, about to be household names for the Washington football team. If Gibson is not cleared for Sunday night, if he does play, he's, low-end RB1, high-end RB2 probably.
Yeah, we'll talk about him in higher or lower Hail Mary. I am lower on him, assuming he's in. And if he's out, Jared Patterson, one of the best Hail Marys. He's only 3% rostered right now. Very rare you can get a guy that'd be in line for 20 touches if Gibson misses it. I get the matchup's no good. We're going to talk about why it's no good. But even still, if you're desperate for some running back volume and the way COVID's going right now, we all might be desperate at some point this week. I certainly am right now. So Jared Patterson, a guy to definitely stash ahead of this week just to see how all these dominoes fall for sure.
Sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Ramondre Stevenson, illness, not COVID related, but he was sidelined Thursday's practice. This would obviously vault Damian Harris. They're both right around like my running back, 30, 32 type of range. Really, neither one's an appealing starter to me unless one of the other one's out. And right now it's looking like Stevenson could be that one to miss time. You give Damian Harris, who ran that 64-yard touchdown against the Bills last time, just kind of churned. Shouldn't have any problem against them. Should he be the main guy? 20-plus touches. Now, granted, he also is questionable with that hamstring, getting limited practices in. He practiced in limited fashion last week, but then ultimately sat. So if he misses it, Brandon Bolden, another guy to potentially stash on your benches. I know J.J. Taylor would be more of the guy, but I imagine they just kind of abandon the run at that point and just kind of dink and dunk it to Bolden as their extension of the run game and just let Mac Jones do what he can do and see what happens there.
Also, Mitch, real quick, with a quick super chat, says, Merry Christmas, Wolves. One and all, good luck. Thanks for the support, Mitch. Thanks for being here, as always. Miles Sanders. Can we talk about Miles Sanders for a second? When was the last time that guy got into the end zone? Sometime last year, I guess, right?
It wasn't this year. Yeah.
Right. He did not practice on Thursday for the second straight day. Jordan Howard was upgraded to a full participant, so we could see a little bit of a flipperoo there as far as who their top guy is. Sanders has actually not looked bad. He just can't get into the end zone.
No, he always looks good. He's a great player. The end zone allergies are extremely frustrating, but man, this guy rips time and time again. And that line is one of the best, if not the best run blocking line in the NFL. The lanes these guys are running through is crazy. Their commitment to the run is very, very clear. If he plays against a Giants team where they're heavy favorites, he's going to be a monster play. Jordan Howard, though, should he sit, would be a probably top 20. I have Sanders right now at running back 20. If he misses the game and Howard becomes the guy, almost a one-for-one replacement, not in the sense that Howard has the talent of Sanders, but you could pencil him in for 20-plus touches with no Sanders there against a very bad defense and certainly a nose for the end zone. I think we'd be getting like an 80 to 100-yard day from Howard with a touchdown plus. So definitely worth rostering him. All these kind of hypothetical backs with this week, especially being as crazy as it is, Howard add him to the list alongside Justin Jackson. Justin Jackson being my number one ad right now, but Howard right there, Jarrett Patterson right there too. Lots of potential Hail Mary backs indeed. And this one's not going to really matter. I can't imagine he plays this week or even next week, but maybe for the playoffs and certainly just for dynasty leagues, love to see this one. Rams designated running back Cam Akers with the Achilles injury to return from injured reserve. He is healthy enough to potentially be activated across the next 3 weeks. Be shocked if he comes back this week. And even if he did, if he got more than like 3 carries, but still just so encouraging. You see the workout videos of the guy grinding his ass off, looking, pretty explosive in this. It's great to see guys like D'Onta Foreman coming off these Achilles injuries and still looking pretty solid. Similarly with Marlon Mack looking, not maybe like his old self, but still pretty damn good. Maybe the ACL kind of became that one that was a dreaded injury that now people just tend to just be themselves again. Maybe the Achilles recovery is becoming a little bit more encouraging. Certainly for his long-term outlook, you love to see the fact that he might be active at some point this year. So those of you in dynasty leagues, certainly bump him up in those types of formats. And maybe, just maybe, we see him down the stretch here. I can't imagine he has any seasonal value this week or next week, but I'd love to see him in the playoffs. I'm going to look and see. I think a Rams running back has been top 15 in all but like 1 or 2 weeks this year, whether it was Henderson or whether it was Michelle. That's why Cam Akers, if he's fully healthy, and it looks like he's going to be by the time next year, he'll be in my top 20 running backs. I mean, top 20 overall, no doubt about it, come next year.
All right, let's hit wide receivers. Like you said, it just seems like the medical profession has come a long way as far as injuries, like Achilles, ACL, stuff like that. I'm a huge basketball fan. Kevin Durant had an absolutely devastating injury, more than a year ago. And I mean, he's probably the best player in the NBA right now. And there was not really any real precedent for coming back from that and being great. But we're seeing it in two of the major sports out there. So that's encouraging. As a fan, that's really cool. Wide receivers, Seahawks have activated Tyler Lockett from the reserve COVID list. Hills is happy about that, right?
Oh yeah, you got to be happy about that for Hills. He's one of her big deep threats, and she needs all the points she can get this week facing a juggernaut of a team. And Lockett though walks right into a top 6 matchup, 6 most points allowed. Certainly vulnerable to Bears to the deep ball, and their entire secondary was out last week. So you got to imagine some of those pieces remain out entering this week. I think Lockett, we've seen DK just disappear to dust these last few weeks, but Lockett has really been upping his game. Last time we saw him, he had like 30-something points. We could see another big day from Tyler Lockett in this matchup. Another guy returning is Antonio Brown. He was limited. Seems like I shouldn't promise he returns, but it seems like he is headed towards returning. Mike Evans, meanwhile, was sidelined, which puts Antonio Brown in the driver's seat to be Tom Brady's number 1, which makes him a very viable wide receiver 1 in fantasy football. My number 11 receiver on the week should Antonio Brown play. Do not forget this guy is the wide receiver 4 in fantasy points per game. He is a beast. He'll be the only one there. He should have himself a field day returning. And we had Bruce Arians say he looks just as he did before the injury. Take it for what it's worth. He might be lying to us, but either way, there's no one else there anyways. Tyler Johnson, like Scotty Miller. No, it's Antonio Brown's show if and when he returns this week.
I actually think 11 is low if he's playing. Speaking Thursday, Kevin Stefanski filled with great quotes this week, ranging from Baker Mayfield and now Jarvis Landry coming off the reserve COVID list tomorrow. It is going to be day 10. So Jarvis coming back. I honestly have no idea what to expect from this guy if he plays. Just like, I'm glad that I'm not in the ranking business like you are, because I don't know what this guy's going to do.
Yeah, I have him at 35, which is +5 the ECR right now.
That sounds
been steady. 10. If we're looking at half PPR leagues, that's what I mostly play. That's what a lot of you guys play. 12, and 13 full PPR over 15 in 3 straight games. So good volume. He's been a top 30 receiver in 3 straight. He could be a good lineup replacement. He might be my Mike Evans replacement this week. Should he sit? You won't know on Evans until Sunday, unfortunately. So I might have to just jam Landry in and just hope it works out for me. They should be chasing points. I think he is a very viable play. Baker's been peppering him heavily over these last few weeks. And then moving forward, DJ Moore, who I'm always lower on, I'm 9 spots below on the ECR this week. He's also not practicing, so everybody might be off on him because he might not play. But still, anyone getting passes from the worst thrower in the NFL right now, Cam Newton. Maybe Ian Book will give him a run for his money, but maybe Ian Book will be the laser show. I'm not very intrigued to see what Book does. I thought it was a Brook all day, but the fact that his last name's actually
Book, Ian Book.
It gets the appeal that much higher. I cannot wait to see what the Book does.
So a couple of things real quick. I know I was down on Justin Fields and Davis Mills the other day. Not the other day, like 10 minutes ago. But I forgot about Cam Newton. He's probably worse than both of them.
Absolutely.
Anyway, Justin Collins has just shot us a $2 super chat. Standard, Gibson, Rojo, Foreman, Jackson. I need 2.
Oh man. Let me try to find that. It's easier for me to read. Oh, there it is. Justin Collins, Gibson, Rojo, Foreman, Jackson, need 2. I'm locking in Rojo here. Number 1, far and away. So this really boils down to Collins, and I'm guessing this is why you toss us in there to make sure we got to it tonight. Do you play Foreman or do you not play Foreman? Right? Yeah. I don't think I do, because I really do like Justin Jackson a whole hell of a lot if Ekeler sits. He'll be a top 20 running back for me. Houston's D-line all has COVID. They're all out, and they already were surrendering the most yards per game on the ground. So, like, Jackson will be in a smash spot if Ekeler misses it. And we haven't seen anybody go on the COVID list and actually return this year, if I'm not mistaken. So I imagine Jackson is by far the number 2 here. And even if not, Gibson is still Gibson. Like, he's still a viable bet for the end zone. Even though I like Foreman, I'm going to bench him with the upside of trying to get to Justin Jackson or Gibson. Should he be in? Now, if both those guys aren't viable, who's the next one up? Then it becomes ugly. It's probably not better than Foreman, but I still would probably wait this one out, especially with those line concerns right now for the Titans. Omar, tossing us another one. You're the fucking
Got
man.
another one. Thanks, Omar.
Very generous.
We have a hard time getting through
We're
our
all in the giving
material.
spirit with Christmas here, apparently.
You
guys are awesome. Thank you so much, guys.
I feel like a stripper. People just
do a
throwing
little
all
dance
this
for a snack.
money
Come on.
at us.
Show some skin, baby.
Depends how much the super chat pot is going to be. Yeah, we're gonna have to hustle actually. Well, if it's already past 7:30, Omar's got another one. Sit one between Barkley, Justin Jackson, Jeff Wilson, full PPR.
I would sit. This is a good one, Omar. It's so tough to evaluate Jackson yet because we don't officially know that he's a starter. But playing the game that we assume he's the starter, I would want him the most out of all these guys. I'd probably sit Wilson here, Omar. I don't love Barkley, though. How could you? The guy has been doing absolutely nothing. We don't even know who his QB is. I mean, he said full PPR. That's the one thing that keeps this a little bit closer for me is the full PPR because we do see a lot of targets go Barkley's way. I have Barkley at 23 and I have Wilson at 25. It's very, very close. We've seen Barkley 10, 17, and 7. And full PPR, that is 13, 19, and 9. So he's been like okay. A 9-point floor, that's not hideous. And Philadelphia is actually a bottom 10 team, 2 running backs. So I think I go Barkley and Jackson. I bench Wilson here. What are your thoughts, Truth?
I feel the same way, although it's close for me between Barkley and Wilson, which is just crazy to say.
Yeah, it's crazy to say that Justin Jackson is the best option.
Right, we're like, oh yeah, smash Justin Jackson there.
Yeah, the smash play of them all. I guess it does come down to too, though, Omar, is if Jackson isn't the guy, let's say Ekeler does get cleared, who's the next man up for you? If you waited it out, now you have Barkley in a backup role of Justin Jackson. Who's your next man up? Now, I know Justin Jackson did put up 11 points in PPR leagues last week, even as the backup. So, like, he's not horrible as the main backup, but even still, like, who would be the next man up? Is it him? Is he the next best option? Then it gets a little dicier, but I'm saying go Barkley, Justin Jackson here.
All right, you got to hustle here, Wolf. Craze says start 1, Pittman, Christian Kirk, or Gage, half PPR.
I'm going to go. I call me crazy. I have Christian Kirk the highest here, but Gage, I love all 3 of these guys, Craig, because I know it's not the answer you're hoping for. I do think you can't go wrong. I think the lowest floor of them is Pittman. We saw it last week, 1 point. He can just kind of disappear. If Taylor's doing his thing, they won't even look his way. So to me, it comes down to Kirk and Gage as the 2 options here. And what did we just see from Kirk? 12 targets, 9 catches, 90 yards, a score. Most routes run for the Cardinals. I'm going Christian Kirk here, followed by Gage, followed by Pittman.
All right. Speaking on Thursday, Wink Martindale told reporters he would not be double or triple teaming Jamar Chase like he did Devontae Adams last week. I don't know if that qualifies as super news or anything like that, but he's not going to do it.
Yep, exactly. So we left off at
Emmanuel Sanders.
Manny Sanders
upgraded
to full. Downgrade Davis a little bit, but we also have Beasley out on the COVID list. So ultimately, we'll still see Davis in there, my guess, in all 3 sets, maybe even moved into the slot, which we know that he likes to pepper, given how Emmanuel Sanders has been more of the outside guy locked in this year. So I'm not downgrading Davis much, if at all. He might actually benefit from being in the slot a little bit more. Tight end notes, 2 of them real quickly, so then we can get to higher, lower Hail Mary, and then hit all your questions. What time is it? 7:37. I'd like to be hitting questions by 7:55. So, hey, if we miss a position, we miss a position. That way we have at least 25 minutes for all your questions, and we got a lot of them, so we will make sure to get there. Darren Waller did not participate, though. You already know he's not going to play. He hasn't played since Thanksgiving. And Pat Freiermuth also not practicing, 2nd consecutive day. 2 concussions last month. It seems very unlikely we see him as well. So make sure you guys have backup plans, which we will cover as we get to higher, lower Hail Mary. As we do so, Wolfpack, 50 of you here, only 17 likes on Facebook. Don't know how many we got on YouTube, but it'd be so appreciated if you consider hitting that button. And of course, consider subscribing over on YouTube so we can get that 2K goal, baby. Let's hit these higher, lower Hail Marys.
We got another 27 on YouTube, so we got 44 total.
Okay.
All right.
Not
Stafford.
bad. Keep it going, baby.
You like Stafford as your QB2. That's 5 above the experts at the Vikings. And you also like Burrow, 2 above the experts at QB9. Not a huge discrepancy there, but you really like Stafford this week, huh?
Yeah, I wanted to make sure to include Burrow. I'll start with him because I'm getting a lot of questions on him. Last time out against the Ravens, this guy was bombing. Jamar Chase himself had 200 yards, and Burrow was just throwing seeds all over the place. This defense is giving up the most plays of 20-plus yards and of 40-plus yards, and that was before they lost Marlon Humphreys. We just saw what Aaron Rodgers did to them. It wasn't pretty. I think Burrow, who had 28 points, was the QB2 the last time out against them when they had Marlon Humphreys, could repeat that performance. He's also only 5,900 on DraftKings. Will be smashing stacks with Joe Burrow all week. And then Stafford. I mean, I know he was a little bit ugly on Monday night, 16 points, QB 11 still. He's had 23, 24, and 23 ahead of that game. And this is me saying I am guaranteeing he gets right back into 23-plus points against a Minnesota team that is bottom 5 in points allowed to QBs. And I just don't really like that many of the high-end options. Like Kyler Murray feels riskier. Pat Mahomes feels riskier with all his COVID. Justin Herbert, they might just pound the rock all day against Houston. So it's more so I just like him a whole lot more than the other options that a lot of people have him below.
Jesse C. wants to know A.J. Brown, Antonio Brown, Madison, Gage, or Waddle. You pick 4. Different way of saying that is bench one of these guys.
Got to bench one? Ooh, that's a tough bench, Jesse C. To me, I'm benching Gage, I think. If it's full PPR, Jesse, I might even bench A.J. Brown. This is one of the rare instances that these options are all right there, if not higher than A.J. Brown in full PPR, given that we know Waddle will get 10-plus targets against a defense giving up the 4th most points to receivers. Gage has been the wide receiver 2 in his last 4 weeks. He's been absolutely killing it. I can't believe those words are coming out of my mouth, but he has been insane. So that's really tough to bench too. So in terms of safety-wise, A.J. Brown's probably the riskiest of all these guys. I
don't know.
Half PPR, or it's certainly standard, I'm going A.J. Brown in that upside.
Antonio Brown's a little risky too, but I would pick him over A.J. I agree.
Yeah, it kind of comes down to that for me. So yeah, those are the 4. So kind of want to bench A.J. Brown, but it'd be Gage in half or standard leagues. I'd be benching him.
All right, 15 minutes we got. Patrick Mahomes, you like lower. You got basically him and Stafford switching spots. You got him as your QB 6, 4 below the experts. You're also not a big fan of Prescott against Washington. QB 12, 3 below the experts.
Yeah, Patty Mahomes is just more so the weapons at this point. He looked really good last week. I have no doubt that if Hill and Kelce get cleared, erase everything I'm just saying right now, he will be more than okay against Pittsburgh. But they did look a whole lot better with Joe Hayden back last week. I'd be nervous. I just don't know how he's QB2 with all of his weapons cabinet out with COVID right now. And then Dak Prescott, the QB 27 across his last 5 games.
Yeah.
He's averaging 11 fantasy points per game across his last 5 games. Been outside your top 20 in all but 1 week in his last 5 games. Yes, Washington should be a great matchup. Yes, it's prime time. I don't care. I'd be benching Dak if I could this week.
Agreed. Hail Marys, Jimmy G tonight. I don't think that's a bad call at all. Jimmy G, like I said, he's kind of sneaky good. Jared Goff also. Crazy that we're talking about him in any sort of positive terms at all, but the Lions have had a bit of a renaissance in the last 3-4 weeks. They're going at Atlanta, and also Big Ben against KC. That's a must-win game. I'm not touching Big Ben personally.
Yeah, Jimmy G's like low ceiling, but decent floor. He'll get you 15, and he might get you to 20 if everything bends right. And against Tennessee, as we've talked about, the definition of a pass funnel, second fewest points allowed to running backs, 9th most points allowed to QBs, and 2nd most points allowed to receivers. I think Debo is going to do some dangerous things to these guys. I think Kittle will smash them, and you get the ancillary benefits of having Jimmy G. He only had 14 last week, was the QB 14, but he's been top 15 in all but 1 of his last 6 games. That's not bad floor to have baked in. It's not sexy, but if you need a Hail Mary, it's a decent baked-in floor. And then Jared Goff had his best game of the year, taking down the Cardinals last week with 21 fantasy points. He's actually had 21 or more in 2 of his last 3. He's been cooking, but he is on the COVID list right now. Should he play, he gets an Atlanta team giving up the 3rd most points to signal callers, so you could do a whole lot worse, but who knows if he's even going to be out there. That's pretty desperate.
Running back Zeke going against Washington as your RB 9, 4 above the experts, and Joe Mixon against Baltimore, RB12, 3 above the experts.
Yeah, Zeke, I know he's looked kind of like a slug most of this year, but last week he did look a little bit more explosive after the game. In his post-game presser, he said his knee is a whole lot less worrisome to him. He's thinking about it a lot less. He's not feeling the pain nearly as much. And he had one of his best games of the season with 52 yards, a touchdown there. Wasn't all that efficient with the points, but was running back 10 last week. And now he gets a Washington team that we just saw the Eagles decimate. They had no defensive linemen. I don't know how many will be back by the time Sunday kicks off, but should it be that same D line versus this Cowboys offensive line, they will be moving them all over the place. So I like Zeke a lot. And then just, I think, Mixon, a lot of people worried about the ankle. He's been practicing him full. Treat him as if it's Mixon any given week, in which case Mixon should always be a top 12 guy, given his huge role in one of the most explosive offenses of late. The only concern is that Samaje Perine kind of nibbling into his receiving cheese right now. You hate to see it because he is such a great pass catcher. I don't get it. But even still, such a good nose for the end zone. He had 5 straight weeks with 2+ touchdowns. Like that upside always exists with Mixon. I'd have a very hard time being running back 18 or whatever he's at right now. No way.
Jesse C points out, and thanks for the support again, Jesse. Full point PPR bonus after 100 yards receiving or rushing. That's also how my league goes. Does that change your opinion at all when you're saying sit AJ Brown?
Yeah, it sure does. Because, if he goes off, when he hits his ceiling, he's getting that bonus. I mean, he's a guy to go for 150, right? So that does change it for I can't bench Madison, though. I think Antonio Brown's a great bet for 100 yards. To me, with that bonus in place, Jesse, I'd be getting AJ Brown in. I'd have to. Because Waddle, as good as he is,
I'd be benching Waddle.
He might catch 9 balls for 50 yards, right? So Waddle would probably be the guy I bench here. You said you'd be benching who?
Waddle.
Yeah, low ADOT, low upside. Gage with that bonus. I think Gage, Brown, and AJ, and both Browns all have 100-yard upside. Waddle, sure he does, but he's the lowest bet to hit that bonus too. So
yep.
I don't know what the bonus exactly is, but if it's
in my league, it's +1.
Yeah, so. Anyway. Not bad at all.
All right. Maybe it's 2. I don't know.
Thanks so much, Jesse, for the support, too. We really appreciate
man. Thanks a lot. We got 5 minutes, and we're cutting it off in 5 minutes, and we're going to the mailbag no matter what, Wolf. So do these as fast or as slow as you want. Antonio Gibson, you like him lower against Dallas. You got him as your RB15, 6 below the experts. Also, Jeff Wilson. We've talked a ton about him tonight. You like him at RB25, 4 below the experts. Yeah,
just re-emphasizing the fact that Wilson gets the second fewest points allowed to backs. That line could be enough to overcome that, but I am skeptical. He's had one good game this year. Let's not let last week's recency bias cloud us to the fact that this guy has really just sucked most of the season. And then Antonio Gibson, 6 spots below the ECR. How is this guy top 10 against a Dallas team that's giving up the 3rd fewest points? Other than Tennessee, one of the hardest matchups possible. Last time he faced Dallas, he had 4 points. Was the running back 43. That was just 2 weeks ago. Even with McKissick off the field, he was a dud. They seem to always want to vulture his goal line work. With a banged up toe, I'm passing on Antonio Brown or Antonio Gibson. And just a thank you. Another super chat from Jesse. Man, you're a legend, Jesse.
Man. Thanks,
Thank you so much. We really, really appreciate your support, brother.
Hail Mary, Justin Jackson. We already talked about him a bunch. And if he's gone, Duke Johnson? ?
Yeah, 22 carries last week. They're saying it's going to be a competition, but I do think Miami will roll the Saints with Ian Book or whatever the fuck Book, whoever he is. They should have no problem.
I'm going to laugh so hard when Ian Book throws for 450 yards.
Yeah, exactly. Right. And we'll bookmark this one. Book it. Literally.
Right. A lot of book puns.
Yeah, exactly. But I think the game flow should be a ton of work. It is the hardest matchup for running backs, but even still, Duke looks really good. Their best back. I hope they keep going to him. Jarrett Patterson, Jordan Howard, the other two we've already talked about on this show as guys that you should stash. And if everything bends right, could be very viable Hail Marys as well.
Wide receiver Tyler Lockett against Chicago. You got him as your wide receiver 9. Wow, that's generous. 2 above the experts. I guess they like him too. Also, Christian Kirk against the Colts. Wide receiver 18 for the Wolf, 23 for the experts. Also, Russell Gage, who we just talked about, going against the Lions. You like him at wide receiver 22. That seems low given how great he's been. The experts like him even less, though, at 27.
Yeah, 20 and 27 PPR points for Tyler Lockett, wide receiver 4 the last time we saw him. Now against a Chicago team that's an easier matchup than anyone he's played against these last few weeks. I think he will light them up. He's certainly Russell Wilson's main target. The sinner narrative of not targeting DK Metcalf has been in full effect these last few weeks. And then the other guy that you mentioned there, Russell Gage, as we talked about, like a top 5 wide receiver across his last 4 games, 18, 22, 10, and 23 fantasy points, has been a top 10 receiver in 2 of his last 3 weeks. There is like a little bit of a lower floor, but it feels like a really high ceiling, especially against a Detroit team that is bottom grade in PFF against everything. So definitely higher on Russell Gage as well.
Going lower, Mike Williams at Houston. You like him at your wide receiver 31st. The experts like him at 19. That's insane. It's insane that anybody could like this guy, wide receiver 19, in any format at all. That's ludicrous. Also, DK Metcalf against Chicago. Similar. You got him as your wide receiver 33. The experts like him at 16. That is a monstrous discrepancy. You know, we all know the talent when it comes to DK, but you got to just look at what the guy's producing, i.e. nothing. Amari Cooper, also Washington, 32 for you. 26 for the experts. That's nowhere near the discrepancy that the top 2 guys are. Williams, I just feel like speaks for himself. I feel like these both speak for themselves. How can they be so high on these guys?
They're the guys that get ranked so high because as soon as they blow up, they're on your bench and they kill you, right? Well, they're killing you every single time they're in the lineup.
You're going to get one awesome game out of DK Metcalf and be like, shit, he's killed you like 8 weeks in a row.
Exactly. I am done trying to play that game. I've been done for 3 straight weeks now. He's been my lower. And I'm just going to keep doing it because it's too easy. It pans out every single time. Mike Williams has been he's wide receiver 19 this week in the ECR. He has only once in his last 9 games finished inside the top 20. That was against Pittsburgh.
That was that last second play, right? That was like in the last minute and a half of the game or something.
Exactly. He, even with Keenan Allen out 2 weeks ago,
he had
didn't
6
finish
for 60,
top 20.
I think.
He had 16 points, was the wide receiver 20 exactly. Yet we're ranking him inside the top 20. In all the other games outside those 2, he's been outside the top 40 wide receivers. No thank you, folks. I will be betting on 7 games of outside top 40. I do not want to touch him. DK Metcalf, very similarly, again, 18 spots below the ECR. How is he a top 15 receiver in rankings? Makes no sense. This is PPR points. 6, 7, 2, 11, 8, 11.
It's just going to be – this guy's going to blow up at some point, and people are going to be like, see, I told you. And it's like, yeah, but you've been wrong like a million weeks in a row.
You're not here.
So you're right like 15% of the time.
Tonight because you wouldn't be in your finals. You wouldn't be in your semifinals. If you've been using DK Metcalf right now, you are not here. So I guess that's why.
The guy in my hometown league that had Metcalf sure as hell didn't make the playoffs. I can tell you that.
Absolutely not. And Amari Cooper, I keep getting the but primetime, right? Dak and him, primetime. 6, 9, 6, 16, and 3 PPR points in his last 5 games. I'm not banking on that. No way I'm trusting him. He has been a dud. Gallup, ever since Gallup returned, Dak throws to Gallup far more often than Amari Cooper has seen double-digit targets just twice on the year and none over his last 8 games. No way. Not in.
All right. Hail Marys, real quick, assuming Gabriel Davis is already gone, Allen Lazard or MVS, depending on who's available. Tyler Johnson at Carolina, you like, and also Treadwell playing against the Jets.
Yeah, and I'll toss out Braxton Barrios with Jamison Crowder not practicing. Barrios is just a touchdown machine. I don't get it. It's crazy. But the guy, every time red zone starts, it's like, here's Barrios going into the end zone. I don't know why. It's usually all he does on the day. But you need a Hail Mary. That's not bad. I love whoever's going to be the main deep threat for Aaron Rodgers. If it's MVS, fire him up against a bad Cleveland secondary. It's pretty banged up right now. If it's Allen Lazard, even better. The guy has been very solid when MVS is out of the lineup, and he is on the COVID list right now. So it seems unlikely he plays. Allen Lazard, last time we didn't have MVS in the lineup, put up 21 fantasy points, was the wide receiver 8. Definitely a viable Christmas Day miracle for you guys out there. And then the last one out there, obviously Gabe Davis, my number 1. But Tyler Johnson led the Bucs in receiving. We know Antonio Brown's going to be back, but we know Tom Brady can sustain far more than just one receiver too. So Tyler Johnson seems like in line for number 2 duties. Like him a lot.
Also, so I want to just say, the Wolf steered me wrong. He said I should start Darrell Williams over Craig Reynolds, and ultimately that lost me the game. But he also told me to start Gabriel Davis, and I wouldn't have been in the game in the first place if I hadn't started Gabriel Davis, who had a big game. So
remember, we were
he giveth and he taketh away. But
you kind of convinced me to let you go, Daryl, too. I said Craig.
No,
Hail Mary last week. And then you go, but Daryl Williams, he's such a good locker room guy.
I backed off. If you play the tape last week, I actually had him out of my lineup, and then you convinced me to put him back in. And I wanted to.
You convinced yourself. No, you were talking about his locker room presence.
I'm trying to give you a compliment that you had me in the game in the first place because Gabriel Davis was in, which is true. But you did try. Listen to the podcast back. Wolfpack. now he's treading into dangerous waters. But the point is, I wouldn't have been in the game anyway if Gabriel Davis hadn't had such a big game, and that was due to the Wolves' advice earlier in the week. So I can't blame him. And ultimately, anytime you take someone else's advice and you lose, it's your fault. It's not the person who's involved. You give it. I'll give the Wolves shit, but ultimately that came down to me.
Absolutely.
All right, so
I'm just going to give 2 quick tight end Hail Marys. Go ahead. I know we don't have time for higher, lower, all that stuff. We'll just give you 2 Hail Marys because I know a lot of you guys are looking for Travis Kelce replacement plans here, myself included. One guy I wish I was out there in my league, and he's not, is Cole Kmet, who has seen a shitload of targets these last few weeks. He saw 9, 11, 7, and 5 across his last few games. Was the tight end 9 last week with 13. He had 15 points just 2 weeks ago. He's getting very serious volume. Seattle's giving up these 6 most points to tight ends. I really like this play for Cole Kmet. He also has not even scored a touchdown yet, and he's still been a viable top 10 tight end in 2 of his last 4 games. I think you can get that this week, and maybe he just finds the end zone for once in his damn life. We will see. And on the other side of that ball is Gerald Everett, who has had 15, 1 point. That was horrible. 11 and 10 PPR points. He has been a top 10 tight end, top 13 tight end, I should say. So a fringe tight end 1 in 3 of his last 4 games. He's seeing more volume than DK Metcalf. You can toss this guy in there as a Hail Mary, given that the Bears are also a bottom 10 matchup for tight ends.
All right,
so both of those guys are my favorite widely available tight ends. If neither of them are somehow available, you pray and you go to Noah Gray as the replacement should Kelce be out. Just go for the guy taking his spot and hope that Mahomes finds him for a touchdown, maybe even 2. That's where I would go at real desperation times.
All right, let's get into the mailbag.
Hell yeah, let's fucking do it, Wolfpack. We got 56 of you here on an awesome semifinals night. That is fucking incredible. We have so many questions. You guys are the best. Thank you so much for being here, Wolfpack. If you don't mind hitting that thumbs up button to help us continue to get out to more people. And if you haven't subbed already, help us continue to get to that goal of maybe hitting 2K by the end of the season. It would be so greatly appreciated. And the last promo I will do is already here in the comments. Use promo code RSJ or hit the link in our comments on YouTube to then go to Prize Picks. You get up to $100 deposit match, and CJ is already up like $400 or whatever it is since downloading the app. This kid is a prop betting guru. It is the softest prop bet lines that you will find on any book. Like Deebo Samuel, for example, tonight, a must play. He'd be my number 1 Prize Picks. He's 40.5 receiving yards the last time I checked. No book has him under 50 other than Prize Picks right now. So that is just free money, in my opinion. Deebo could get 40 yards on 1 catch, given how deadly he is. So there's tons of plays in that sense. Go check out Prize Picks. Use code RSJ. It really helps your boys out if you deposit $20+. And again, you'll get up to $100 matched. So go check it out. It is the best app in the world for prop betting in general. Just great DFS strat. Like, it's awesome. So please check that out, Wolfpack. It is it's our first sponsor, and for a reason. We love them. So go check it out. It's an awesome game.
Real quick, as we get into the mailbag, and I think we shouldn't elaborate on these too much. We should just kind of hit them. I will just say, as I've been watching the questions come in, there have been maybe 10, 12 questions that are just like, should I start A.J. Brown tonight? Thoughts on A.J. Brown?
We covered him at the top, but I know a lot of you guys.
Give the 15-second pitch. These are the ones where they're not saying start over another person. They're just saying thoughts on A.J. Brown. Just hit us with that because we can skip like a bunch of questions if you just address that right now.
Absolutely. Wide receiver 18. Very few people have a 30-point ceiling. A.J. Brown does, and then some. A bottom 11 defense against wide receivers. Good matchup. Nobody else there to throw to. Julio Jones is clearly a corpse. The line, yes, a concern, but that also might mean they just get it out of their hands faster, get it to their playmaker earlier. The way that we've seen the 49ers rolling and the 3rd most points scored across the last 5 games, that's going to be the narrative that allows A.J. Brown to continue to get peppered in comeback mode. You'd have to have, very good wide receivers to be benching this guy at this point. Again, top 18 for me. That ceiling is so damn high. You can't bench him. You'd have to have, there's only been a couple times you said bench him, yes. Good evening, Denny Jennings.
Fired up right now.
Oh, yeah, I didn't mean to miss you, Jeremiah Moore. But yes, you're firing up AJ Brown. Let's go, Mike Clay. Let's go, William G.
Cool. How's it going, guys? I'm in a finals matchup looking for my first title. Good job, buddy. Things looking not the best right now, but I was able to snag Madison. That makes it look better this morning. Huge boost to my changes this week. Good luck, William.
You just got yourself a top 10 running back off the waiver wires. Congratulations, Will. That's awesome.
Craig says, if Ekeler can't go, I need a running back and a flex. If Ekeler goes, I just need a flex. Half-point PPR, Montgomery, Rojo, Higgins.
All righty, so I'll give you the two I would play if there's no Ekeler. It would be Montgomery and Ronald Jones. I'd go both running backs. Higgins is right there. If it's full PPR, I might switch my opinion here, but I'm going Montgomery, Ronald Jones, both those running backs in my top 13 this week.
Denny's playing the number 1 seed. He has Kupp, Mahomes, and Kittle. Jesus. Tough sledding ahead, although the Wolves not huge on Mahomes this week. However, Kupp seems to be just like a guaranteed 30 every game. So
he's facing the number 1 matchup for wide receivers this week. He's already 30 points a game. Like, good Lord. What he's going to do this week is going to be disgusting. I'm sorry, Denny. I hope you survive.
I said this last week or maybe 2 weeks ago. I still feel like they don't throw the guy the ball enough. It's just like, why wouldn't you just – I mean, why not? I would just throw him like 17, 18 balls a game, right? I mean, I've seen him drop one ball all year. Yeah, Mike Clay, I was able to scoop up Rojo. Good job.
Hell yeah. Good move.
Tunes, Ayuk, D'Onta Foreman, Penny, Van Jefferson, Parker. Pick one.
I'm going to probably go good options here, all like in the similar tier here. I think I'm leaning Penny. I'm not going to go Foreman tonight with game flow and line concerns. I'd keep him on the bench. I'd probably go for Penny, but those receivers of Parker and Van Jefferson, also intriguing. I'm just not going to go any of the options that are going tonight, though, Tunes.
Couple other guys real quick. We talked about A.J. Brown before. I've seen a few questions come in, Antonio Brown or A.J. Brown. The Wolf and I both agree that if Antonio Brown is playing, we like Antonio Brown.
Oh, yeah.
William says starting Allen, AB, Renfro, Madison, Gibson, Knox, and Sanders. Half-point PPR if Sanders is out. Play Howard or Michael Carter.
I'm going Howard there. The automatic replacement. Just bam. Put him right in.
Billy Reflex. I need one. Rojo, Javonte Williams, or Zeke.
Ooh, very good question. I'm going to go Zeke, top 10 running back for me. That being said, Zeke's ceiling is lower than both of these guys. So Illy Flex, I'm confident Zeke will get you 12 to 15. I'm not confident he'll get you over 20, whereas both these other guys could go for over 20. So if you are an underdog, and there's plenty of situations where you might be like a 40% and they're 60%, you need points. I'm going to go for Javonte or Rojo ahead of Zeke. But in general, in a vacuum, I do have Zeke the highest. If it wasn't Zeke, though, you wanted the ceiling, I'd go Javonte.
Wow. That is a nuanced answer. Mike Clay, sit two. Aaron Jones, Rojo, Miles Sanders, Foreman, and Wilson Jr. I'm assuming you're definitely going to sit Wilson Jr. here. Yeah,
I think I'm sitting both the running backs tonight, Mike Clay. Yep. I'm not going to play either one of them. I'm riding Jones, Rojo, and Sanders there.
Russell wants to know Lamar/Huntley or Big Ben.
I would go whatever Ravens quarterback is playing, no doubt.
Me too. William, start Chargers D or Chiefs D? So close.
By the way, this question really quickly, like I didn't mention Huntley as a Hail Mary quarterback. He'd be my number one Hail Mary quarterback if Lamar misses the game. Like, no doubt about it. I should have mentioned that in higher or lower Hail Mary. So those of you still here that saw that segment, Huntley would be my he'd be a top 12 quarterback if Lamar is ruled.
Agree. Chargers D or Chiefs D?
I'm going Chiefs. Pittsburgh, they'll get through that D line. Chris Jones all day. He's going to sack the shit out of Ben Roethlisberger.
All right. Mike's answering his own question. We already answered that.
Yeah.
Andrew Martin, pick two PPR. Christian Kirk, Justin Jackson, Mooney, JWJ, DJ Moore.
A lot of good options here. I'm going to go Christian Kirk, and assuming he's starting, Justin Jackson. So either way, you're not playing Jeff Wilson Jr. Should Justin Jackson not be the guy, I do think Mooney is a great option. I guess a burnable secondary with Seattle.
Mike says, where's the Dolphins D jump in the rankings? Them over the Chiefs?
I would go, very close. I have them 3 and 4. I still have the Chiefs a little higher, but I mean, you're facing Ian Book. So yeah, like you could absolutely go that way.
Big game Ian Book, they called him. Chris Jason, I upset my opponent last week as a 20-point dog, and I stashed Rojo because I have a huge brain. What a week. Now I get to dismantle the 1 seed with Rojo in the flex and route to a title berth.
Hey, if CJ wins a title because of Rojo, what's more fitting than that?
I know.
Like,
it'd be like me winning one with Peyton Barber or something like that.
Yeah.
Ben Tomzik, what's up, gents? I got Madison, Rojo, Gibson, A.J. Dillon, and Justin Jackson. Pick 3 PPR. I got Debo, AB, and Kupp locked into my lineup already.
That is some firepower at receiver. And Benny Thompson, every time your name pops up, I want to remind people we will be live at Old Planners this Sunday. Maybe the Truth will make a guest appearance. Probably not because it's the day after Christmas, but you never know. Could be a surprise. for everybody out there. We'll be live at 11 a.m. though. They're opening the doors an hour early so we can get drunk early. Love it. Come on down. 12/26, day after Christmas. Keep the holiday cheer going. You better be there, Benny. But ultimately, of these running backs, you're going Madison, you're going Rojo, and you're going Justin Jackson if he's the guy. If not, you probably go Gibson.
All right. William wants to know if Antonio Brown's out, do I start Parker or AJ Green, half-point PPR?
Tough part of this is AJ Green plays on Saturday,
I know.
so you won't have the time to wait it out. Anyways, I'd rather have Parker, so you play Parker.
Okay, Johnny Lau. Woke up to a brand new shiny Ronald Jones off waivers under the Christmas tree this morning. Let's go. Nice job.
That's a nice package to unwrap, especially with Fournette officially on the IR. You get the Jets next week for Ronald Jones if you move it on too. That's league championship type of stuff.
I know you like AJ Brown more than, or I know you like Antonio Brown more than AJ Brown. Do you like Renfro more than Antonio Brown?
Oh, Renfro is coming off a little bit of a dud, but in full PPR, he's just been so good besides last week. I actually go Renfro and AB here, and I bench AJB.
All right. Bulldog, what's up, gents? Struggling with COVID and injuries, but still in it. Yeah, man, I hear you. Devontae Parker, Russ Gage, Foreman, and Javonte Williams. Pick two of them.
I'm going to go Javonte as my favorite, and Russ Gage is my second favorite, especially in full PPR. I love Russell Gage this week.
DJ Johnson, half-point PPR. I need 3 wide receivers, a running back, and a flex. All right, man. AJ Brown, McLaurin, Lockett, Mike Williams, Zeke, Foreman, Kirk, Edmonds, Justin Jackson. Jesus.
Good fucking Lord, DJ. I'm going to go Lockett. I'm going to go AJ Brown, and I'm going to go Zeke as my top options here. I do love Christian Kirk this week, but not ahead of any of those other guys I talked about.
William says, have you guys heard anything on the status of Tyreek Hill? Any chance he plays this week?
Who knows? No, we have no idea. It's all up in the air there.
It seems unlikely to me, but don't take my word.
Seems unlikely, but the new protocols could make it possible.
Antonio Brown or Dawson Knox?
Oh, you're going either A Brown, whether it's AJ, whether it's Antonio. You're going both the Browns.
Yep. Ben, in another league, do I start Jeff Wilson? Do I use Justin Jackson and Sony instead? I think we like Jackson better, right?
I like both. I like either Jackson and Sony. Yeah, either one.
Ayuk or Connor in the flex, full PPR.
I go Connor. I know Ayuk second most points allowed to receivers tonight, but he's so hot or cold. Connor might not play the award, so then it becomes like, and you gave us a super chat, so I want to make sure I give you a generous answer here. If Connor's good and going, it's him, but he also has not practiced up to this point. He is a game time decision. Should he miss the game, it now comes down to, do you have Edmonds? Do you have another option? Because if not, if your next man up is shitty, Ayuk is in a really good spot tonight. In a vacuum, I like Connor, and if you have a good backup, then better. But you might have to go Ayuk depending on who's the next man up if Connor does not play.
All right. D'Onta, RN. Is that D'Onta Foreman?
D'Onta Foreman,
or Josh Jacobs?
I go Josh Jacobs, and I go Ayuk over Metcalf.
Okay. Michael Shear, who would you start? AJ Brown, or all right, we already did that.
Yep.
Cody, Huntley or Murray, Knox or Goddard? Thanks.
You got to keep going, Kyler. I know Huntley looks so good, but we don't even know if he's starting. And I go Goddard definitely over Knox. Back-to-back, like 130-yard days. Oh, yeah, I think that's a monster.
Robert says, in the semifinals, my opponent or I, neither one of us have a player, so I can actually watch and enjoy the game. Me too, Robert, and I'm still miserable.
Yeah.
Jonathan says, start 3. Ayuk, Higgins, Chase, Renfro, AJ Green. I'm assuming we're going Renfro definitely, and Jamar probably definitely too.
I'm going the 2 Bengals, and I'm going Renfro. I'm stacking up the Bengals. That's why I'm higher on Joey Burrow this week, because I think he could absolutely eat.
All right. JP, pick 2. Start Zeke, Mixon, or Justin Jackson. Oh, wow. If Ekeler's out.
That's tough. I'm going to bench Jackson, though. If Ekeler's out, I still go there. All righty.
I agree.
We're only at 7:04. It's already 8:05. Do I have to go rapid fire already? I think I might.
Let's do it. Let's try to get as many of these guys in. Some of them are going to be repeat questions, so just keep your eyes out. But yeah, let's try to get as many of them as we can. We got 61 people in here. Y'all, give us a like. All of you haven't hit like yet. Wolf's about to go rapid fire, so this is him like tap dancing for nickels on the sidewalk.
Tap that. And if you want a guaranteed answer, though, that super chat button is still there. I'd be happy to pause my rapid fire and jump to your question and make sure we answer your question indeed. So that's a good way to get a guaranteed answer. Otherwise, thumbs up button helps, and as do subscriptions, so we can get to that 2K goal would be so appreciated. Ward Willis already super chat, so appreciated. Bateman, Devonta Smith, Connor, Ingram in the flex, standard league. My top option here is James Conner if he's in. If not, I guess I go for Bateman. I really don't like any of the other options, though, so I really hope Connor plays for you, Ward. Start 49ers defense or Saints. You're definitely going 49ers tonight with that D-line awful. Dolphins on waivers, really like. If you're guaranteed to get them, I have them ahead of the 49ers. But if that's like I might get them, I might not, then you got to go with the 49ers tonight in a great spot. But I do like the Dolphins more if you're guaranteed to get them. 49ers cross-country trip, short week, Titans +3. I don't know about that.
I don't know about that, CJ. I don't know about that.
Full warning, you have hockey tonight. You may miss the questions. Sorry if you do. I will not hit you in the timeout, though, Ben. You belong. I'd only put you in timeout if it turned you on, Ben. That's the only reason you'd go.
Yeah, sure. Any answers? We've been given nothing but answers, Mike.
Nothing but answers, Michael Shear. Maybe he needs to go to timeout. Rojo, Gibson, Elliott. Choose one. I like Elliott the most, but Rojo for ceiling if you really need that big upside. But I like Elliott the most for his nice, safe 15-point floor. Need to sit one. A. Jones, Connor, Javonte, Mike Williams. Mike Williams is the sit. DJ Moore, also very sittable. I'd actually probably said DJ Moore ahead of Mike Williams, but I don't like either of them. But all those other guys, good plays. Yeah. Holiday season, tip your fantasy football bartenders. Love it, Terrell. Too nice. Thank you so much. Send it all. You guys have been so generous tonight with your super chats.
Yeah.
It is so greatly appreciated. Merry Christmas indeed. Every time out, everyone drinks. I like that rule. Let's fucking go. I'm killing them. Good job, Buzz. I love you. Love your energy you bring every time. With Hill on COVID, super flex spot. Lawrence, Rojo, or Terry? I'm going Rojo all day. So Joe Sotoine. What's up? You guys rock. You rock, Jeff Lee. You're the man.
You rock, Jeff Lee.
You do. And Burrow, I am higher on this week. I would go him over either Ravens quarterback. Ekeler, Pirine, or Justin Jackson. I would go Ekeler if he's playing. Obviously, Justin Jackson if he's not. That's where you lean. Bucks or Eagles defense? Give me the Bucks. Better defense, indeed. Typo sent. There we go.
Go ahead. Bots.
The bots are here. What's up, Matthew? No to. Taysom on COVID. Matt? You only have Cam and Tannehill. I guess you got to go Tannehill because you got A.J. Brown back and you just hope he rips off a big play. But that sucks. Good luck, Wolf. Good luck to you, Eat Powder. Sweat and Kelce. Very sweaty. Sorry, Truth. You're always welcome to come to Montana and ski.
Dude, I might take you up on that before too long if you're out there long enough, buddy. I appreciate it.
Hell yeah, Eat Powder. We'll see Truth out there skiing with you to get his misery away from the fantasy losses. In need, down by 18, start 2. Oh, it must be one of those 2-week leagues. Jeff Wilson, A.J. Brown, James Conner, Jarvis, and Rojo. I'm starting A.J. Brown. I'm starting Rojo. Yep. My favorite options there. We got Zeke, especially to make up points. The highest ceilings there for sure. Moreno, Zeke, Jones, AB. You need a running back 2 and a flex. So we're benching one of these guys. I think I'm benching AB. I like both those running backs a lot. I do love AB this week, though. No, I might bench Aaron Jones. I don't fucking know. That's really hard.
You're benching Ayuk here, right?
Yes. Oh, yeah. Ayuk there for sure. We already got that one. So we're going to timeout for Jonathan. Goodbye, Jonathan.
Start Jeff Wilson tonight or wait and gamble with Gibson.
Oh, fuck. I lost my spot. Timeout. One negative.
It's on there.
My spot every time.
It's on the screen, dude. Just read it.
I can't read it. It's too fucking small on my screen. There we are. Start Jeff Wilson tonight or wait and gamble with Gibson. I mean, if you can pick up Patterson, which you probably can because he's only 3% owned, I would just wait that out. But I mean, I guess Wilson's a fine option. Maybe you just go for the points tonight. I'd go for the points tonight. A.J. Brown. I don't like Wilson tonight. Wait for the Washington running back. A.J. Brown, a must start. Yes. We're not going to just straight up A.J. Brown questions anymore. We've already talked about him enough. Mike Evans sits. Lazard, Gabe Davis, or Judy. Going Gabe Davis.
Gabe Davis.
Day. Liked and sub from Jeremiah. Yeah, we're going Gabe all day. Good to see you, Jeremiah. By the way, I meant to ask, how's everything going? Did you get a child? I want to know more about how everything's going, brother. Mixon, Jeff Wilson, Barkley, Madison, Rojo, pick 2. We're going Madison. We're going Ronald Jones there. A.J. Brown start, yes, of course. Thank you again for your super chat, Hillary. Very generous.
I know, Hillary. What a class.
I'll take you out to dinner for that. Anderson or Edmonds for running back 2 this week. Edmonds, we already answered that one. Truth, yeah, we already called that one out. A.J. Brown, yes, we already answered that. Ronald Williams, going to timeout, baby. Put in timeout. All-star chef. A.J. Brown or DJ Moore. A.J. Brown, no doubt about it. Y'all think Parker's a decent start? He's not bad, but I'd go A.J. Brown, no doubt about it. Ayuk or Michael Carter, I'm going to go Ayuk there. Brown from Tampa Bay or A.J. Brown? I go Brown from Tampa Bay of all these Browns. Darnell Mooney is his wide receiver 1. Big-time puke. Yeah. Tough wide receiver situation. Gabe Davis slip. No, I think he's going to, with Beasley out, still guaranteed a lot of snaps.
I think CJ should get an I Love Justin Fields shirt made.
Yeah. DJ Johnson also disagrees with you because of Matt Nagy. I agree. We cannot judge this guy based on being with Matt Nagy all year. Pick 2, Javonte.
It's a handicap. Harris. I'll give you that.
Yeah. Justin Jackson, CH, or Edmonds. I'm going to go Javonte and CEH here. Marco Coles. What up, Justin? Love the show. Thank you. We're glad you're here. Gibson, Rojo, D'Onta Foreman, and Justin Jackson. You need 3 of them. I would go Madison. I'd go Rojo. And I'd go Justin Jackson, assuming he's the guy. If not, you go Gibson. CEH or Rojo, I go Rojo very slightly. Gary W., Merry Christmas to you too, brother. Thanks for great Thursday shows. Thank you for being here every Thursday. We love you, brother. Pick 2, 1 flex. Hollywood, AB, AJB, Sanders, Edmonds, Parker. I'm going AJB. I'm going Antonio Brown. I'm going Miles Sanders there, baby. If Sanders ends up being out, you go Hollywood Brown. Merry Christmas, Miss Chavez. You're the man. Closed out. Start 3 running backs. Rojo, Sanders, Barkley, Connor. Assuming Connor might make this easy and sit. If he plays, I sit Barkley. With the offensive line hurt, is AJ Brown? Yes, of course he is, Michael Shear. I think that means more dump offs to him and let him go do his thing. Merry Christmas. Pick 2, please. Terry McLaurin, Gabe Davis, Van Jefferson, or Antonio Brown. AB is my favorite. And then Van Jefferson getting deep against Minnesota. Most points allowed to wide receivers. You do have Edmonds as well. Oh, yeah. So then you go Edmonds. You just lock up that Cardinals backfield, whoever that is. Giuseppe, my boy. You have Tyreek out, Ekeler, Gibson, and Miles Sanders questionable. Help. St. Brown, Van Jeff, A.J. Dillon, Justin Jackson, Jared Patterson. So you're going Justin Jackson. You're going, assuming Ekeler is out. You're going Miles Sanders, assuming he's in. So you're going whatever Chargers running back. You're going Miles Sanders. Pick up Jordan Howard so you have that backfield too. And then you go St. Brown, assuming Goff's in. If he's out, you go Van Jefferson. Losing my voice here for you, Wolfpack. Give us a like. Give us something here. Give us a sub.
Give him something for that. Look at this guy. He's earning every cent.
I'm drinking my antioxidants through a seltzer.
What are you? Oh my god.
Very healthy. They're called Vizzies. They have vitamin C in them, but they still also have alcohol. So it's great. Hunter Henry or Uzuma for just.
I hear it laughing in the background over there.
Cackling over there. Wasn't that funny? Hunter Henry or Uzuma. I'm going Hunter Henry off of 77 yards and 2 touchdowns all day. Huntley over Kyler. No way, Bulldog. Eagles or Chargers. I go Eagles. Patterson or Mixon. I'm going Patterson. Would you start Tannehill tonight? I would not like to. Merry Christmas to you as well. Indeed. I have there we are. Gibson out. Start Patterson or Michael Carter. Definitely Patterson. No doubt about it, Will G. We all need to hit the like. Please do hit that like. Thank you, Ward Willis. Jalen Hurts or Huntley? You got to go Jalen Hurts running all over that Giants team. No doubt about it. Start 2. A.J. Brown, Ayuk, Amari Cooper. I'm going A.J. Brown. I'm going Ayuk there, Tachi. Flynn. Hey, guys. Monty running back 1. Way too many options, Flynn. Sorry. We're in rapid fire. I can't do that. Jeff Wilson, A.J. Brown. Start 4. Come on. Fuck that. A.J. Brown. Michael Shear's the one talking shit earlier, so I'm not answering your question. A.J. and Amari. Probably not Cooper for me, though. Waddle, Hollywood Brown, T. Higgins, A.J. Brown, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Pick 3, please, for David Fan. Waddle, I'm going T, and I'm going A.J. Brown of those options. Dennis Steven, happy PR. Start 3, D'Onta, Penny, Jeff Wilson, Gibson, Javonte. I'm going Javonte. I'm going Penny, and I'm going D'Onta. Maybe Gibson. I go Javonte, Gibson if he plays, and Penny. So I'm not playing the running backs tonight. We need answers, my guys. PPR. Shut up. Super chat us if you need your answer guaranteed. Pittman or Gage, half PPR. I'm going Gage there. Crazy. Such a safe floor. Exactly, says Justin Collins. Apparently, expect a full workload for A.J. Brown. Love to hear that. Thank you, DJ Johnson. You think we'll know Tyreek? We'll know his status, yes. But who knows? But you got Kirk, St. Brown. So, yeah, you bench St. Brown if he's going. Half PPR. Start 2. Patterson, Rojo, CEH, Madison, Jackson. I'm going Madison. I'm going Patterson, baby. Happy holidays to you, Marquez Valdez-Scantling. Foreman or Sanders. I'm going Miles Sanders. No doubt about it. Let's destroy it. AJ over Renfro? No. Not over Waller. Wolf drinking Claus? No, I'm drinking Vizzies for vitamin C, baby. We have to pay for questions. Yes, I guess so. AJ Brown, 2 touchdowns. I hope so. That'd be awesome. Foreman, Carter, Michael Gage, Michelle, Gage, Jefferson, Claypool, Mooney. Is it one of these guys? Because if it's one of them, I'd go Gage there. Okay. Bench 1. St. Brown, Henry, Renfro. I would bench Hunter Renfro there. Foreman or Wilson tonight. I would go Foreman. Pittman gets boosted. Yeah, he did. Got ejected because he sucked anyways leading up to that. AJ Brown or DJ Moore. I'm going AJ Brown, baby. Half PPR. Need 2. Waddle, Marquise Brown, St. Brown, Van Jefferson. I am going Waddle, and I'm going – it really depends on Goff's status. If Goff's in, I go St. Brown. If he's out, I go Marquise. Going against Mahomes and Allen, I start Burrow and Jimmy G. Good luck, brother. You are going to be sweating, but good luck. Hunter Henry, we already answered that one. Time for a timeout. Everybody drinks on timeouts. Taylor Hanson, Michael Carter, or Van Jefferson. I'm going Van there. Thank you for the super chats so many times, Jesse. We really appreciate it. Need 2 and 2 flex. Not Metcalf. AJ Brown, I go. Madison. Too many options, Red. You got to limit that down. Sorry. You guys can't ask me. Set my entire lineup for me on a fucking like rapid fire sit start show, please. Limit it down to what you actually were boiling it down to, please. Wilson tonight, not really. I'd rather go Jackson and Sony. That's where I would go Jay Cutler.
Yep.
Jeff Wilson or leave flex for any of those guys. Yes, I'd leave the flex open. No, he's not a must start. Juan Gonzalez or Jay Gonzalez. I don't know if you're Juan. I'm just guessing. Boys, help. Javonte or Jeff Wilson. I'm going Javonte, no doubt about it, Josh. I know, right, Josh? You're going Javonte. Nyheim Hines or Booker. I would go Nyheim Hines, but geez, that's bad.
Yeah, that's right.
Scary Terry or Ayuk. This guy, get like Patterson, get Jordan Howard. There's some. We rewind Jeff Lee to the Hail Marys. We gave you a bunch of guys. They're all better than whatever you just brought up. Scary Terry or Ayuk. I'd go Ayuk. I don't trust Terry right now. Jeff Wilson or Swift. Swift's probably not playing, so I guess you got to go Jeff. Sucks. Grab Kmet. Yep, not a bad play. I like it, Mitch. The Hail Mary of the week. Good stuff. Thoughts on AJ Brown? Playing him, no doubt about it. You should start AJ. Yep, Michael. Michael's going to timeout. Too many questions from Michael. Thank you, though, for being here. We appreciate it. Hope you come back. Lunch Table Legend. What a name. That's fucking awesome. No, he's not better than Sony. He is better than Daryl. He's right on the same play as Penny. He is better than Freeman. Not better than Jackson without Ekeler. So there you go. Should start AJ Brown over Waddle? If you need the upside, yes. But otherwise, I'd like Waddle as a floor. But yes, you can start him tonight. No doubt about it. I go Antonio Brown rushing yard. I know we got that one a lot. We're getting a lot. Do I start AJ Brown? Yes. Yeah, should have come early when we kick off at 6:45 and hear us talk about it. James Conner, Miles Sanders, AJ Brown. Kind of like Miles Sanders there, actually. Patterson, Monty, Justin Jackson, Rojo. I'm going Patterson and Monty there. Rojo's very close, though. Full PPR. AJ Brown, Ayuk, Beckham. I'm going AJ Brown there. Pick 2, Tyler Lockett and Melvin Gordon over Jeff Wilson. A lot of people talking to each other, which I love. Just watch a stream where they said Ekeler told someone to start Justin Jackson. Very interesting indeed. So Justin Jackson's probably going to be the guy. Antonio Brown or AJ Brown. It's always Antonio Brown. We've already talked about them. I'm going Eagles there. Tunes. 8-person league. Yeah. Derek Carr or Tannehill. I go Derek Carr. My guy, please help. AJ Brown, Kirk, or Gage. I go AJ Brown and I go Kirk. I'm benching Gage there. Full PPR, I actually might go Gage over AJ Brown for the safety. AJ Brown or Troy Brown? Troy Brown. Thanks ahead. Yeah, you're the man. Good problem to have, but yes. Waddle or AJ Brown? I'm going Waddle. Lewis, you've been here a million times. We're putting you in timeout. Put 2, happy PR. Lockett, Jeff Wilson. Oh, we already answered that one a bunch too. Timeout. Caleb, James Conner, AJ Brown, James Conner. I guess we're going to go James Conner the second time. No, I'm going AJ Brown over James Conner. Start 2, Monty, Rojo, Patterson, Jackson. We're going Monty. We're going Rojo. Justin, you've asked that one a million times. We're putting you in timeout. A lot of timeouts. Denny Jennings getting drunk here.
Wolf's getting loose.
Your favorite kicker question, Boswell or Koo? Koo all day. AJ Brown, Amari Cooper, Hollywood, Troy Brown. Who's Troy Brown? I thought it was a joke at first, but apparently it's not. We're going AJ Brown and we're going Hollywood Brown. I don't know who Troy Brown is.
Let's go all in on Troy Brown this week.
Ex-Patriot legend. Love the guy. Mooney a start. He could be. They do give up big plays, the Seahawks defense. And again, Wolfpack, we're getting right to kickoff. If you haven't already hit that like button, it'd be so appreciated. As I lose my voice, as I hold in, having to piss my fucking brains out right now for you, please consider just subscribing. It'd be lovely. It'd be so appreciated. Jackson, Foreman, Connor, Sanders, start 2. Who's the best? I'm going Sanders and I'm going Connor. I'm benching Foreman tonight. If we get Ekeler ruled out ahead of time, that he would be ahead of Connor. Foreman or Penny? Penny. Pick 2, Jackson, Sanders, Madison. Madison's the lock. Sanders after that. Happy holidays to you, YB. Gage, Kirk, AJ Brown. We've answered that one a bunch. We're going AJ Brown. We're going Kirk. You're going timeout now. All right, where were we?
You're like a gunslinger in the Old West.
Yes, Diggs, Lockett, AJ Brown. We're going Diggs there. AJ Brown or T. Higgins? T. Higgins for me. Charlie Mendoza. Enjoy your Christmas, brother. I wish you guys could be there too. Where the fuck did I? There we are. Thanks again, guys. One day we will meet. It's going to be very big trouble. We're going to burn down a fucking city whenever we do meet. Philadelphia will never be the same, or Beverly, or wherever we meet up.
Let's pick a city we don't like.
Appreciate any wisdom tonight. Sit 1 PPR. AJB, AB, Deontay, or Chase. Ooh, very tough. I think I actually said AJ Brown there, Nasir. You think AJ Brown's limited? No, they said he's full workload coming up. Sick of Thursday football? Fuck it. Don't complain. We got football. What are we complaining for, Sad Jay Cutler? Stop being so sad. Happy holidays to you.
Right.
And again, those of you see a lot of new names, love to see it, Wolfpack. Please consider subscribing as we head out. We're so close to 2K. You guys could make or break us. It'd be so awesome. Mixon or St. Brown? Mixon, baby. Miami D over the Pats with Book at QB. Miles scoring this week. I hope so. I'm starting him. Wilson or Foreman? We're going Foreman. You cracking me up tonight, Wolf. Love you, Mike Clay. You're the fucking man. Chug my beer 3 timeouts. Yeah, baby. Hell yeah. I got to chug with you. I will finish it at the end of the show, but I got to get these questions first. Happy BR. Freeman, Penny, Brown, St. Brown. We're going to go Marquise Brown there. Keep thinking there's someone at my door. Their basketball's back, Truth?
Yes.
There we go. You guys are hearing the basketballs again. When Nat's kids dribble,
I told her not to do that. I completely told her not to do it, too.
Nothing better than a drunk Denny Jennings. You're the fucking man, Denny Jennings. Yeah. Wilson or Foreman? I go Foreman over Wilson. Kamara, Madison, Jackson, Sanders, Connor, Foreman, Swift. Very cool, Logan King. Awesome. Thank you for sharing your lineup. Chiefs or Bills? I go Chiefs. I love them against Big Ben. I think they're going to sack his ass all over the place, Andrew. Wolfpack. Whew. That was a fucking legendary rapid fire there. Thank you guys so much for being here on your Thursday night kickoff, spending your time with us. So appreciate that you'd seek out our opinions. If you don't mind hitting that like, that thumbs up button on your way out here.
Come on.
And even more important, hit that subscribe if you like what you heard. You want to catch us live. Usually it's not this hectic. Usually we can give you nice in-depth answers on Monday through Thursday.
I don't know. It's usually pretty hectic.
Usually pretty hectic on Thursday, though. We start 10 minutes early. It doesn't help. We just get more. And I love it. It's fucking awesome, though. We really appreciate you guys so much. All of our content, if you're new here, is on rotostreetjournal.com. My rankings. We also have an iOS app. You can find all that there. And one last plug for one of the best fucking apps there is. That's Prize Picks on Google Play, on iOS, or prizepicks.com. You use code RSJ, and you can get up to $100 matched. You put in $20, we get a nice kickback, and it's so greatly appreciated, Wolfpack. Our man CJ cannot miss. He's putting his picks up on our site every single primetime game, every Sunday. Check our socials, Road Street Journal on Instagram. He always puts them up there as well. Whew. Prize Picks, code RSJ, not case sensitive. You can do it any which way. It does help your boys out so much to show the power of the pack. Sub, like, all that good stuff. AJ Brown tonight. Denny Jennings, you're a wise ass, and I fucking love you.
I know you
Gallup or St. Brown? I'd go St. Brown if Goff's in. I'd go Gallup if he's out. Roger Lee. Roger Logger, whatever your name is. Whew. I need to breathe. I think I'm going to have an asthma attack over here. But you guys are the best, Wolfpack. Thank you so much for your support, for being here. I'm the Wolf.
I'm the Truth.
Any last words, Truth? I know I just kind of went crazy there. So
no, I mean you did what you had to do, man. I will just say I know my daughter's dribbling, and it sounds like a machine gun up there. She really does have excellent handle.
They're fucking awesome.
At some point, I'll show you a video of her dribbling. She's pretty good.
I've seen the videos myself. Yeah, we got to show the pack. She's fucking got some great handles. But yes, Wolfpack, thank you again so much for spending your Thursday here with us. We greatly appreciate it. I hope everybody out there that's still here with us, awesome that you're still here. Have a very, very merry Christmas, happy holidays, whatever you celebrate. I hope you have a healthy, safe time with you and your family. Everybody, be safe out there. Have a blast. Denny, I told you I'd chug this for you. So,
what is that, like mineral water or something? You chug.
It's still alcohol.
Oh, okay.
It just has vitamin C in it too.
You chug like Aaron Rodgers.
Fuck you. That wasn't a bad chug. You kidding me?
Remember when he was like,
yeah, that was abysmal. My teeth hurt. Oh, I'm Aaron Rodgers. My toes hurt.
It was even in a cup, too. It was in a cup. It's like, you can just throw that down.
Probably Amazon Prime. Cheers to Denny Jennings. Merry Christmas to you, Mike Clay. You guys are the best. Truth, Merry Christmas to you as well, man. I hope you guys have a very happy holiday. Wish it to Anna, the family, everybody. Your Christmas card was awesome. We really appreciate it. Love the note in the back. RSJ for life, indeed. Wolfpack. Fine, Brad. You got in here last second. Davis, Renfro, Diggs, pick 2. I'm going Diggs. I'm going Renfro, baby.
Yep, me too.
I know you're in agreement. Alrighty, Wolfpack. We're getting out of here. We got to go enjoy this game.
All right.
Best of luck.
Later.
Cheers.